We're back now. It's been 72 hours since we put down the floor coating. The floor coating is dry. It's had a chance to cure. The white has done a great job coating the floor. I did end up using about 1.5 gallons of the white coating. Looking at what I can tell from the floor, I am still getting a little bit of that residual where I can see the concrete floor through the paint, which is, happens when you use a non-tinted white paint. Probably would have not seen this if it was gray, but I've chose the white because most of this floor is going to be covered with equipment. The primary reason I'm using the coating is to protect the floor. All of the preparation work that we put into it up to this point seems to have done a really good job allowing everything to bond to the floor. So, that everything is nice and locked in and it looks really good. So following through with all the steps that I've gone through previously is going to be important to getting a good coating down on your floor. Where we are now is we're on the clear seal step. This is the last step that this product series from Krete calls for. The sealer goes down as a protective barrier for the floor. Then you allow that to cure, and then you'll be able to move all your equipment back into the space. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep the floor before I put the Krete down, because a lot of these paint flakes, or not a lot of them, some of these paint flakes have not stuck, which is fine because I really wanted to have a little bit thinner look on the floor anyway. So I'm going to sweep up some of them. Not a lot of them will come loose, but some of them will. But then we'll put the clear coat over the top of it and finish it up, and it'll be allowed to cure, and then we will start putting our equipment in a corner. So let's get to it. Again, we're almost through here. Probably will take about an hour or two to get this done, and once we get that completed, we'll get a video of that, and that'll complete the Krete concrete floor preparation. Okay, so we're here. Our tools of choice today are going to be the paint tray with the taped in liner and the roller brush. We're going to apply this. This is a clear coating. It actually looks milky in the container here, but once it dries, it'll dry clear. So we're going to get back here and start in the back corner. So we're going to start in the back corner with our clear coating, and this is going to lay down on top of the flooring that we've done so far. So we'll start and lay it down, and lay it down pretty thick. So it's a little bit challenging to see this coloring on a white floor, but so you just have to pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure that you get plenty of coverage. And lay it down real thick. I'm not putting a lot of down pressure on my roller. I want to make sure that everything stays really well saturated so that we get a good seal coat down on this floor. Make sure you maintain a nice wet roller. Pay attention to where you're working so that way you can cross hatch to make sure you're getting the coverage that you want. I know you guys can probably not see this. I can't even see it hardly on the floor, but I just got to make sure that I get a good covering on it and keep up with where I'm at. You can use the paint tray to help you delineate where you're at so you can make sure that you get good coverage all the way across. And this, just like the paint, you want to do two patterns. You want to go in one direction when you lay it down, and then you want to go a cross hatch to help have more coverage. That's where a booming pole like this is very nice, because now I can reach all the way across my project. These are good tools to have. Not doing a lot of down pressure here, just rolling it and making sure that I'm getting good coverage. So we'll just keep working our way across here, and we'll shoot a video of this once we get done. So here we have the clear coat down on the floor, and you can see it does add a sheen. We are seeing a coverage of about 500 square feet. It on the sealer, it says it'll cover 150 to 500 square feet. I'm sure the low end of this coverage is if you're sealing straight concrete that hadn't been primed or anything like that. But as far as covering on the painted floor, the coverage area is looking like I used about 3/4 of a gallon on 300 square feet, so it's holding right in there with the 500 square foot coverage. So really this went down, it's a lot like a mop and glow, you know, really like a floor wax. Rolled it out, made sure I had good coverage, went back and forth. Now I'm going to let this cure. I got to look at the cure time on that, and then once we let this cure out, then we're finished with this portion of the shop. Now obviously we're going to work on the front half of the shop next. I used half of a bottle of the Clean and Etch, which is a 64-ounce bottle. I used a whole gallon of the primer for the Krete concrete primer. I used 1.5 gallons of the Epoxy-Seal concrete and garage floor paint, and I used half to 3/4 of a gallon of the sealer. I'll cover a 300 square foot area. So real satisfied with the look. It like I said, that last coat put a little bit of shine on the floor. We're going to let that cure and harden. Today is Wednesday, so we will probably have this curing out till at least Saturday, just because of my availability. I wanted to get this down. That's been one of the challenges for me. Temperature is down in the 80s now. We did have a cool front move through, so want to really get moving on this floor. And with this product, having to have a couple of days in between, the work week is a good time to do this, so you can come out in the evenings, get your stuff done, let your floor, get your cleaning done, let your floor dry, get your primering done, let your floor dry. When you put down your paint, they want you to wait. It takes it about 2 hours to dry, but they want you to wait 4 to 6 hours before you put down that second coat and put down your paint flakes. Then once that dries, they want you to wait 72 hours after that dries before you put down this seal coat that you're looking at now. So I've got the LED light shining on this, so it definitely shines it up. But I can see an added reflectivity in my shop already. It's improving the lighting. Just so you guys can see, I've got white walls, and my insulation in the ceiling is white as well. So it does add a lot of reflected light, but it does help keep me from having to have so much overhead lighting in order to see the work areas. So as we go forward with this, it's just going to actually increase the lighting better and better. So that was my goal, and like I said, when we get this covered with equipment, it's really going to cut down on the amount of area that's covered, because that's visible, because I'm going to have floor mats in front of equipment, I'm going to have equipment everywhere, so this white area is going to be greatly diminished. So that's going to complete this project for this portion of the shop. Basically the whole rest of the shop is a rinse and repeat. So I'll be basically redoing the steps that I've shown in this video for the remaining 5 areas of my shop. As I get the process down, I may choose to do larger areas depending on how comfortable I am with the materials. I'm going to keep working on this, and again, this is Mike Ray, Practical Metal, practicalmetal.com. If you like these videos, please subscribe, and we'll continue doing these projects going forward. I've got a lot of stuff in the queue. Thanks, everybody.